Coming up in today's video, Alvin Kamara wants who to be the next head coach? I got the answer for you in today's video. But really quick, I need your help, Saints fans. Falcons Today, our rival channel here at Chat Sports, recently got 532 likes on a video. So let's bury our baby brothers. Let's smoke that Falcons pack and help me get to 600 likes on this video. We got to show the bosses who runs the NFC South, at least in the YouTube streets and Chat Sports studios. So hit the thumbs up icon, like this video if you hate the Dirty Birds. Welcome into Saints Now by Chat Sports. As always, I'm your host, Trizzy Girouard. Thank you so much for tuning into our second video of the day. If you want to know a little bit more about the morning video, a lot of important information around the head coaching search and Aaron Glenn possibly going to the Jets. We're not talking too much about that, so if you want info there, go check out the AM video after you're done here. Really quick, I want to inform you guys about the head coaching candidates. Obviously, Darren Rizzi is a big name to keep an eye on here, but Mike Kafka, Kellen Moore, Anthony Weaver, Joe Brady, Mike McCarthy, Aaron Glenn, and I'll put an asterisk next to Cliff Kingsbury because he's not taking any interviews until after the Commander season's done. He did show interest in taking the Saints interviewing for the Saints job. However, we don't necessarily know what the future is there. Honestly, I expect him to go back to Washington. And really quick, an update around Aaron Glenn. Josina Anderson posting that optimism is steadily growing that the Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn and Lance Newmark are trending positively per league sources. Moreover, the sentiment is that the Jets job is theirs pending all contractual meshed points getting certifiably agreed upon. So, that does kind of suck if you're the New Orleans Saints because obviously you had Aaron Glenn lined up to interview tomorrow. Weather has now made that an issue, but before weather can make it an issue, the Jets, they had a report go out at like 4 a.m. or something from Rappaport this morning saying that they were just not going to let Aaron Glenn leave the building without a deal today. That's pretty much the situation. They're just going to stay there and keep working until they put pen to paper. And so right now, as long as Aaron Glenn doesn't put pen to paper, you have 3 second-round interviews, Kafka, Weaver, and Glenn. But to be totally honest, I'm all in on either Mike McCarthy, Joe Brady, or Cliff Kingsbury. I don't like the idea of Mike Kafka. I don't like the idea of trying to run it back. I want a new mind that is offensive. I want a new mind that is innovative. I want a mind that's going to make a difference. Mike McCarthy doesn't necessarily fit that bill. Maybe Darren Rizzi can be that guy. Maybe it can be Cliff Kingsbury. Hopefully it can be Joe Brady. But I don't know. I'm all in on an offensive mind at this point. Or Darren Rizzi. I would be okay with Darren Rizzi. But up next, let's talk about who Alvin Kamara wants. I'm not a player on the team. I'm not involved with the team as of right now. But who does Alvin Kamara want to be the next head coach? The answer might shock you. Stick around. Just give me 1 minute to tell you really quick about today's presenting sponsor, and that is Public Rec. Earlier, our video was sponsored by Public Rec. I had a different shirt on because I had this one come in the mail right before I started filming this. I mean, guys, look how great this shirt is. It's like a mesh fisherman type shirt, something like that. It's got the hood. I mean, this shirt is absolutely comfortable. It fits me well. I got a little bit of a dad bod, but I'll tell you what, it's got me looking super fly right now. Wearing uncomfortable clothes just isn't worth it anymore. So why settle for stiff, restricting fabric when you can have something that looks sharp and feels as comfy as your favorite sweats? This year, make the switch to Public Rec where comfort rules. For a limited time, our listeners get 20% off your entire order with code CHAT20 at publicrec.com. That's 20% off when you use code CHAT20 at publicrec.com. Public Rec isn't just about pants. It's about making sure you stay comfortable no matter what your day throws at you. They have so many great style options that are perfect for just hanging around the house, drinking some beers on the course, or even when you need to impress the boss in the office or impress a special little lady on date night. Public Rec not only has the most comfortable pants ever made, but they have a huge selection of high-quality, everyday premium styles. You can even revamp your entire wardrobe with their perfect-fitting polos, shorts, and hoodies. Make your New Year's resolution a comfortable one. No more pants that pinch, tug, or annoy. For a limited time, you can get 20% off at Public Rec by using code CHAT20 at checkout. Just head to publicrec.com, and that's code CHAT20, code CHAT20, obviously, and you're all set. Oh, and by the way, when they ask you how you found them, be sure to mention Saints Now by Chat Sports. It really helps us out. Find your perfect fit and never compromise on comfort again. Public Rec, where comfort rules. Alrighty, so Alvin Kamara, he has weighed in on the head coaching decision, and you see it right here. My vote for head coach rhyme with busy. Producer Coop, I guess I just got offered the job. So, dear Alvin Kamara, I want to say I accept. I will gladly be the next head coach of the New Orleans Saints. Fizzi, Trizzy, who the hell could he else be talking about? It's clearly me. So, breaking news. Alvin Kamara, he obviously wants me to be the next head coach of the New Orleans Saints. And, I laid it out in this tweet. I'm just going to have to take some time. I'm going to have to think about it, pray about it, talk to my family, talk to my girlfriend, talk to dude, see what's the best option for all of us, and we'll see what the future holds. But, I just got to say, what a classy guy from Alvin Kamara to just say, hey, that's my coach. That's my coach right there. Take your time. Take all the time you need, because he said this. I think that this deal right here, if you want to fix the cap space, this is how you do it. 3.5 years, 2 free cans of a beer per year? Are you effing kidding me? That's a hell of a deal. I will gladly accept that. I also want to encourage and invite Alvin Kamara. Would you care to talk contract details? Would you care to discuss your tenure, the life of being a member of the New Orleans Saints? Would you care to talk to some Saints fans? Well, Alvin Kamara might be down. He said, you a hustler, Triz. Hey, obviously Alvin and I go back. We're old boys, I'll get you, or I'll get at you when I get back in town. So to me, Coop, sounds like we're having Alvin Kamara on the show. Sounds like we're getting Alvin Kamara on an interview. And it sounds like I'm the new head coach. So subscribe so you don't miss out our interview with the Alvin Kamara. Last few minutes, a little bit was joking. All of that is real tweets, by the way. That was an 100% real interaction. Alvin Kamara, he said he wanted his head coach. His name rhymes with Fizzi. My nickname is Trizzy. Tried to have some fun with it. But we are going to try and get Alvin Kamara onto the show, so you don't want to miss out on that. I know that for a fact, Saints fans. Subscribe so you don't miss out. I'm going to be out at the Super Bowl doing content and doing coverage from Radio Row. So hopefully we make it happen that week. If not, maybe even a little bit sooner, maybe the week after. Who knows? But really quick, I just want to talk about Darren Rizzi, and honestly, the rest of this video is going to be discussing the Riz. I like the idea of hiring Darren Rizzi, and I think that there's a reason why he's earned so much respect and so much support inside the walls. And, it is very telling to me when Cam Jordan also takes to Twitter, and he says, does it also rhyme with Drizzy? Or my pick also rhymes with Drizzy. So Cam Jordan, Alvin Kamara, 2 of your top leaders on the roster, they're picking one guy. But the question still stands, who are the coordinators going to be? Because Clint Kubiak has taken interviews elsewhere. That doesn't mean he's going to go take another job. But he is in his second round of interviews with the Seattle Seahawks. I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle ends up making a deal with him. And I do think that Darren Rizzi, he's made a really strong case for himself. 3-5 record is not anything to brag about. However, the fact that he took the team that was down, that was beat up, that was broken down, that roster, that team was hopeless. And he took that team and won 3 games. You only won 5. Dennis Allen won 2 of them. Darren Rizzi won 3 of them. Kind of says something. And it sounds like Darren Rizzi's interview actually went really well. He actually laid out a plan for his plan of the team and moving forward. He laid out what the future plan for the team was if he takes over. And I will also add this. There's a lot of reasons why Darren Rizzi can be great. And sources tell me that he laid out a plan for the future of this team. Sources tell me that Darren Rizzi's interview actually went well. So you can sit here and say, oh, Trace, you're just blowing smoke up up our ass or whatever, but I'm telling you what I'm being told. And let's just talk about this real quick. So there's an article out there that actually Darren Rizzi himself wrote, and it's discussing why special teams coordinators can be good head coaches. And it's actually a really, really good read. But I kind of took some of the 4 key points that apply to Rizzi and the Saints specifically and why he can be great. And this is what I came up with. He works with the entire team. So the special teams coordinator works with offensive guys. They work with defensive guys. They work with DBs. They work with linemen. They work with pass catchers for the hands team on kickoffs. They work with gunners and special teams. They work with everybody on the roster. Kickers, punters, long snappers, every single person on the roster. All 53 players at some point have a conversation with the special teams coordinator. There's also familiarity with the opponents. Darren Rizzi's been around for a while. He knows what the NFC South looks like. And also, the special teams coordinator's job, it's their role to understand the opponent's better than the opponent understands you. And a special teams coordinator is also very, very important. It's an important skill to have situational football and how to understand clock management, understand when to throw the challenge flag. All of those kind of things are very important from special teams coordinators, that they do those roles. And the daily operations just as a whole, special teams coordinators do a lot of that. So I think Darren Rizzi could be good. But he does have a lot of destinations. And I'll tell you this, if he doesn't get this Saints job, there's no guarantee he's coming back. Like, I think that he could go to the Denver Broncos and join Sean Payton. There's been some chatter around that. There's also been some rumors that maybe Dennis Allen and Darren Rizzi, they team up with Ben Johnson up in Chicago, which I'll tell you right now, that is one hell of a coaching staff. If you have Dennis Allen being a coordinator and just a coordinator, that's a good spot for him. If you have Darren Rizzi being a special teams coordinator, I think that's a great spot for him as well. And then Ben Johnson, the belle of the ball, top head coaching candidate of the year. I mean, that's a good little staff to join. But obviously, we still have to see what happens with the Jets. Do they hire Glenn? They've interviewed Rizzi. Do they go that route? We'll have to see here. But obviously, he could return to the New Orleans Saints. We just have to see what happens. And the Jets' decision is going to be very important, because if they go with Aaron Glenn, then obviously Rizzi's not going to the Jets. Just makes the Saints a little bit more realistic. And Alvin Kamara, he did also take to Twitter, and I just thought that this was pretty interesting, and it's just cool. Like, it's cool to see that Alvin Kamara had time today to talk about it, to share his thoughts and his opinions on everything. And I thought that this was just really telling. I don't really speak too much on football, especially in the offseason, but it'd be funny hearing why y'all think a coach should get a job or not. But then again, the last time some of y'all played organized anything was last night on 2K. Can't even get your best friend to pass you the ball at the park. Wife mad as hell, you yelling at the game all night. I mean, he kind of popped off a little bit. So, I just thought it was a cool little, the whole thing. I thought it was a cool story. And I thought it was like an interesting storyline. Alvin Kamara wants Darren Rizzi. Cam Jordan wants Darren Rizzi. Do you want Darren Rizzi? Type higher or pass down in the comment section. Again, we talked about it earlier. I mentioned off the top of the show. Check this video out. Saints got bad news. Aaron Glenn looks like he might be headed to the New York Jets. We give you all the information you need to know in our AM video. We've been doing a lot of 2 videos a day, so if you guys want more coverage, subscribe. I can't encourage it enough. I told you we're ramping up the content, both the quality and the quantity. I'm living up to my part of it. So if you want to subscribe and join the family, this is the place to do it. Y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.